आराममध्ये येऊ नकोस आता.
बोललेला तू.
Welcome students for the chemistry paper number 5. Already you have studied the second unit of paper 5 physical chemistry, that is the physical properties of liquid, and in this topic you have studied the physical properties like surface tension and how it arises, how surface tension is determined. There are two methods for the determination of surface tension, and that two methods are determination of surface tension by stalagmometer, and the second method, it is the differential capillary arise method that you have studied. Then the second physical property that you have studied, it is the viscosity, and you have studied the determination of viscosity coefficient by the Ostwald's viscometer in detail. Then the third physical property that you have studied, it is the refractive index or refraction of light, that is the Snell's law. And again you have learned how refractive index is determined or measured with the help of Abbe's refractometer. And the last point of this chapter, it is the molecular refractivity. It acts as a additive and constitutive property, and this property is used in the determination of molecular structure of the substance under study. Here all of you know the determination of refractive index with the help of Abbe's refractometer. That instrument is easy to handle. Only few drops of liquid are required for the measurement of refractive index. Then the refractive index can be measured directly and quickly. Temperature can be controlled, and refractive index we can measure within the range 1.30. Here there is a point 1.30 to 1.70. The refractive index below the 1.30 and above 1.70 we cannot determine, and this is the one drawback of Abbe's refractometer. Then let us turn with the next point, and that next point, it is the molecular refractivity and chemical constitution. That means this property, molecular refractivity, it is used in the determination of chemical constitution. You know, molecular refractivity is proportional to molecular volume, and molecular refractivity is also an additive and partly constitutive property. That means the additive character, it gets modified due to constitution of the molecule, and such properties we call as additive and constitutive property. Hence it may be used to study the structure of molecules. This molecular refractivity, this property, it is used in the study of structure of molecules. Here simply the calculated values of molecular refractivities are compared with the observed or experimental values of the molecular refractivity, and when these two values are very close to each other, that structure of the compound, it may be correct one. Here simply we have to compare the molecular refractivities. the observed and experimental values. If the observed and experimental values are very close to each other, then that structure is correct one. And in this table here we have the elements like hydrogen, carbon, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and here there is a refractivity and here it is a structural contribution. Then here for hydrogen the refractivity we have to add, it is 1.1. For carbon here it is 2.42. For chlorine here it is 5.97. For bromine 8.86. For iodine it is 13.9. And here they have given the structural units and refractivity. If there are 3 carbon rings, then the refractivity value it is 0.71. Then here 4 carbon rings, the substitution here refractivity value it is 0.48. 5 carbon, then minus 0.19. 6 carbons, that means for benzene ring this value is minus 0.15. Then for primary amines, nitrogen in a primary amines this value is 2.32. For secondary amines here 2.50, and for tertiary amine that value is 2.54. Again here there are some structural units and here there are some. This data it is given to you. Simply you should focus on how the molar refractivity values are calculated. Suppose for example consider a Kekule's formula for benzene, and all of you know in case of benzene here there are 6 carbon atoms and the contribution of one carbon atom to the refractivity it is 2.42. Therefore multiplying 6 into 2.42 we have this product it is equal to 14.52. Again the molar refractivity of hydrogen it is 1.10 and in benzene again there are 6 hydrogen. Therefore 6 into 1.10 we have 6.60 value. This product it becomes equal to 6.60. And in case of Kekule's benzene structure there are 3 double bonds and the contribution of double bond here it is 1.73. Therefore 3 into 1.73 we get 5.19. And in benzene one 6-membered ring is there. Therefore the contribution of one 6-membered ring it is minus 0.15 and 1 into minus 0.15 it is equal to minus 0.15. Then here we sum up all these values, they becomes equal to 26.31 minus this 0.15 we get the calculated molar refractivity for benzene it is 26.16 and the experimental value of molar refractivity it is 26.15. This suggests that the Kekule's formula of benzene is correct one. That means after the comparison of the calculated value and experimental value, these two values are very close to each other. Therefore, the Kekule's formula is correct one for the benzene. Then see the another example of acetylene dibromide, and the formula of acetylene dibromide it is HCBr double bond HCHBr, and here we calculate the molar refractivity, that means the Rm value. Here all of you know the contribution of carbon atom, it is equal to 2.42, and in this acetylene bromide there are two carbons, therefore 2 into 2.42, it is equal to 4.82. Then the contribution of hydrogen here, it is 1.10. In this acetylene bromide there are two hydrogens, therefore here we have 2 into 1.10, it becomes equal to 2.20. Then the contribution of Br, it is equal to 8.86, and in this formula there are two bromine, therefore 2 into 8.86, it becomes equal to 17.72, and one double bond here, 1 into 1.73. These values are given. Simply you have to calculate the molar refraction values, and the total of this, it is equal to again 26.49. Here the observed value of molar refraction of acetylene bromide, it is equal to 26.30, and these two values are fairly close to each other and confirm the above structural formula for acetylene bromide. This calculated value and experimental value, again these values are very close to each other, therefore this is the correct structural formula for acetylene bromide. Then see the next example. Here a molecule having formula C3H6 and O. See the formula for a molecule, it is C3H6O, and this compound, it may be either acetone or allyl alcohol, and you know the structural formula of acetone, it is C double bond O, and here CH3 CH3. There are two CH3 groups, they are connected to the carbon and one oxygen with double bond. This is the structure of acetone, and here the allyl alcohol, it has this formula C double bond CH2 CH and CH2. That means in this structure there is one OH group, then two CH2 CH2, and they are connected with the middle carbon atom by double bond, and here it is single bond. This is the structure of allyl alcohol, and this is the structure of acetone, and it's a molar refraction for sodium D line is 16.974. The correct formula can be suggested by calculating the molar refractivity values of the two compounds, and for these two compounds here, this is for acetone value and for the allyl alcohol the value is calculated value is 17.12. See the calculated value of this formula, it is 17.12, and for acetone this is the correct value 16.07. Here the experimental value, it is 16.974, and therefore the compound must be allyl alcohol rather than acetone, because the calculated value and experimental value of the allyl alcohol, these two values are quite similar one or same one. See, this is the allyl alcohol, and in this allyl alcohol, here there are 3 carbons and 6 hydrogens, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then 1 double bond and 1 OH. Therefore, for allyl alcohol, we can calculate the molar refraction values. For 3 carbon, their value is 3 into 2.42. For 6 hydrogens, the value is 6 into 1.10. For 1 double bond, 1 into 1.73, and 1 oxygen in OH, that value is 1 into 1.53. And after taking the product of these and summing, we have the total value, it is 17.12. Since the calculated molecular refractivity of allyl alcohol is 17.12, it is the very close to the experimental value. And you know the experimental value, it is given 16.974. Hence, the given compound must be allyl alcohol. And you can solve many other examples. Simply you have to calculate the molar refraction value and compare that calculated value with experimental value. If the calculated and experimental molar refraction values are very close to each other, then the that given structure is correct one. Otherwise, that is not the correct structure. Hence, we can determine the molecular structure with the help of this molar refraction. Then, which points we have studied in this chapter? Again, we summarize once again here. Here, the physical properties of liquid. You know, the physical properties of liquid are those properties which could be studied by determined without causing any chemical change in it. The physical properties of substance depend upon the intermolecular forces which originate in the internal structure of the molecule. And for your study, there are only 3 physical properties: surface tension, viscosity, refractive index. Then here, the classification of physical properties. There are 4 groups or 4 classes of physical property as additive property, constitutive, additive and constitutive, and colligative. Then the properties of the substance which depends on sum of corresponding properties of the constituents are called as additive properties. For example, mass, molecular weight, molecular heat, dipole moment, then radioactivity, etc. These properties are additive properties. Then the second class of physical property, it is constitutive property. And constitutive property mainly depends on arrangement of constituents and to a smaller extent on their number and nature. These properties are called as constitutive properties. For example, optical activity, surface tension, and viscosity. These properties are constitutive property. Then the third class of physical property, it is additive and constitutive properties. Here, the additive property which depends on molecular structure is called additive and constitutive properties. That means the additive character, it gets modified or changed due to constitution. Such properties are known as additive and constitutive properties. For example, here para-power, viscosity, surface tension, molecular refractivity, atomic volume. All these properties are additive and constitutive. And the last class of physical property, it is colligative properties. And remember well, here colligative properties, they depends on the number of particles in the solution and not on their nature. These properties are colligative properties. And for example, lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, all these are colligative properties. And for your study, these properties are, you have studied already. Then all of you know the surface tension, this property arises due to unbalanced van der Waals forces at the surface of the liquid layer, and each and every molecule, it seems to be under tension because the surface molecules, they are pulled inward by other molecules, they are present in the bulk, and this is the main reason for the surface tension property. Here, the surface tension is defined as the force in dynes acting along the surface of a liquid at a right angle to any line 1 centimeter in length. And the SI unit of surface tension, it is Newton per meter. Then paraphor, it is not for your syllabus, so we move further. Then the next property that you have studied, that property is viscosity. And viscosity, it is related with the flow of liquid. Here the viscosity property, it is related with the flow of liquid. As the friction gets minimized, the rate of flow of liquid molecular layer, it goes on increasing. Here you have studied this. Then this is the diagram of Ostwald's viscometer, and Ostwald's viscometer, it is the U-shaped hollow glass tube having two bulbs. One glass bulb, it is at the base of the U-tube, and one, it is at the top of the U-shaped glass tube. And this glass bulb is a little, and this one is comparatively bigger, and this is provided with a capillary. This is the construction of Ostwald's viscometer. And by using this formula, neta 1 by neta 2, it is equal to d1 t1 by d2 t2. Here t1 and t2, these are the time of flow or flow time required for the flow of liquids in between the two marks of the viscometer. And this d1 d2, these are the densities of liquid 1, liquid 2. By knowing any one value of the liquid, we can calculate the another value of coefficient of viscosity by using this expression. Then the next property that you have studied, it is the refractive index, that is Snell's law. That means the refraction of light when light passes from one medium to another medium, that you have studied. And mathematically, the refractive index, it is given by sine of angle I divided by sine of angle R. It is also equal to velocity of light in a vacuum to the velocity of light in medium. And we measure the refractive index by refractometer. Abbe's refractometer, it is based on critical angle principle. Here last time you have studied the construction and working of the Abbe's refractometer, and this is the diagram of Abbe's refractometer. This is optical ray diagram, and here this is the today's point. Simply here you have to calculate the molar refractivity values, and these are compared with the experimental or observed values. And if these two values are very close to each other, then that structure is correct for the molecule. So study well